Now we shall take up molecules belonging to AB3 type. Central atom is A and these are the neighbors and only with bond pairs. Therefore, A must be, if you want to draw the skeletal structure, A is a central element, and how would you distribute the neighbors so that they are as far away as possible? One can visualize even without drawing the structure. This could be the visualization of the neighbors around A, and there could be a bond here, there could be a bond here, there could be a bond. And don't you think all the 4 atoms, 3 B atoms and 1 atom can be in the same plane? Yes, it's like it could be a planar molecule. It could be a planar molecule. Now, this shape geometry is known as trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. And how many atoms could there be on the plane at a given point of time? There is 1 atom of A and 3 atoms of B. So, on the whole there could be 4 atoms. Total number of atoms along the plane could be 4. Now, we shall give examples. BF3, as I already told you, this is BF3, boron trifluoride. The electronic configuration of boron 2, 3, because atomic number is 5. Fluorine, atomic number 9, electronic configuration. So, boron can have 3 electrons, fluorine 7 electrons, fluorine 7 electrons. So, all the 3 fluorine atoms with 1 electron from each and 1 electron of boron, they share among themselves. Therefore, that could be a bond pair. So, around the central element there is no lone pair, no non-bonded electrons. All the electrons are bond pairs. So, in boron trifluoride there could be 3 bond pairs and 0 lone pair. Total number of pairs of an electron, 4 pairs of an electron. Total number of pairs of an electron, 3 plus 3 pairs of an electron. Total number of electron, 3 pairs of an electron. And how would you distribute the 3 pairs of an electrons in space so that there is the least repulsion? Least repulsion. This is the only way, and this is called trigonal planar. And look at the bond angle, it should be 120. And every bond angle is going to be 120. This is 120. This is 120. Being a planar molecule, 360 here. And that would be the structure of AB3 molecule having 3 bond pairs and no lone pair. Maybe I shall extend it to AB4 molecule. AB4 molecule. I can give you examples of methane, carbon tetrachloride, silicon hydride, it is called silane, or it could be silicon tetrachloride. I can give you the same element in the same group 14, carbon, silicon. My dear students, I can also give you a germanium tetrachloride. All these molecules could be examples of AB4 type. That is, all of them contain 4 bond pairs and 0 lone pair. Let me take methane molecule. We know methane has got the 4 hydrogen atoms, and carbon has got 4 electrons, and each hydrogen atom shares with 1 electron of carbon. So, there is going to be a 4 bond pairs here and no lone pair. How would you distribute the 4 pairs of an electron? My dear students, can you tell me that whether it could be distributed this way? Square planar, hydrogen here, hydrogen here, hydrogen here. Could this be a possible structure? No. Why? Because the distance between any 2 hydrogen atoms should be the same. The distance between the two adjacent atoms are the same, but the distance between the diagonally opposite hydrogen atoms are different here. All the bond angles should be identical. Now, this is not the structure of methane. Therefore, what should be the structure of methane? I am going to draw a tetrahedral structure. A tetrahedral structure. This is a tetrahedral, and since all the bond angles are equivalent here, this is called regular tetrahedron. Regular tetrahedron. Now, you want to visualize this molecule in space. You want to have three-dimensional geometry here. I can draw a three-dimensional geometry here, and I am going to draw one thick line here. I am going to draw normal lines, two normal lines, and probably I am going to draw one dotted line. One dotted line. Probably this could give you a three-dimensional picture. This could give you a three-dimensional picture of methane molecule. This is towards you, away from the board. This is going to be behind the board, and this is going to be along the plane of the board. And this three-dimensional network is going to be a tetrahedral. If you measure the bond angle, every bond angle, every two hydrogen atom will have another 9.5, and that is called the tetrahedral angle. That is the tetrahedral angle. And my dear students, same thing should happen in the case of selene or even carbon tetrachloride, silicon tetrachloride, germanium tetrachloride. Any molecule containing AB4, if all of them are going to be bond pairs here, it must be a regular tetrahedron. So, depending on the total number of bond pairs only we visualize a structure. If you have 3 pairs of electrons, we have attributed a trigonal planar, and 4 pairs of electron tetrahedral structure. Students, now we shall see there are 2 other examples of molecules having AB5 and AB6. All of them 5 bond pairs and 0 lone pair. So, we have 5 pairs of an electron. We shall see the examples first. PCl5, or for that matter phosphorus pentafluoride, nitrogen phosphorus and antimony, Sb is antimony, antimony pentafluoride or antimony pentachloride, any of them. Group 15, all of them belong to group 15 elements. What are the group 15 elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. These halides, pentahalides, they can form pentahalides, they can form MX3, MX5. We have taken MX5 now. X is the halogen. It could be a trihalide or a pentahalide. Now we have taken a pentahalide here. We shall see the geometry of trihalide later. Now, obviously, we have got 5 pairs of an electron. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I have a chlorine, 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 and definitely can I visualize all the 5 chlorine atoms in the same plane? If that were to be the structure here, the shape of this molecule could be this way, pentagonal planar. Pentagonal planar. It cannot be a planar structure because there is going to be lots of repulsion between the adjacent pairs here. The bond pair repulsion. What is our aim? We want to keep the repulsions as small as possible. So, the atom should be as far away as possible. That should be the structure. Therefore, we are not going to propose a planar structure. So, we are going to propose a non-planar structure. My dear student, you see here, you have phosphorus. Are you able to visualize this particular structure here? A chlorine here, a chlorine here, and a chlorine here, and there is a trigonal planar, a triangle, and we have formed an axle. Now 5 corners. What is, can you visualize the structure here? I shall draw the structure here. Now you see here, what is this shape here? It's going to be a trigonal pyramid. This is going to be a trigonal pyramid. Are you able to see a pyramid here? And similarly, you will have one more pyramid here at the bottom. So 2 pyramids, each one is going to be a trigonal pyramid, and they are fused together at the bottom. Therefore, this is an example of trigonal bipyramid. So phosphorus pentachloride has got a trigonal bipyramidal structure. Now let us visualize the bond angles. The bond angle along the plane, it should be 120. The bond angle between any 2 chlorine atoms along the plane. The bond angle between the axial, this is called axial bond. There are 2 types of bond. One is called the axial bond. This one is called equatorial bond. So the bond angle between 2 axial chlorine atoms should be 180. This is going to be 180. Now let us sum up all the bond angles here. The bond angle between axial position, that is perpendicular here. You just visualize, this is going to be a triangle and you have a perpendicular here, that's an axial bond. What should be the bond angle between this one? It's 90. Therefore, there is going to be 190 degrees between this chlorine and this chlorine, and therefore 390 degrees between the chlorine and these 3 chlorine atoms. Similarly, the bond angle between this chlorine and any one of the chlorine is going to be 90. What should be the bond angle here along the plane? 120. And what should be the bond angle between 2 axial chlorine atom? Therefore, my dear students, please understand there are going to be 90, 120, 180. And such a structure is known as trigonal bipyramid. My dear students, we shall take up AB6. I can take SF6, sulfur hexafluoride. Now, how do I place? All of them are bond pairs. There is no lone pair. Now, sulfur, I'll draw a square and keep sulfur in the center and 4 fluorine atoms on the corners of the square. So these are the 4 bond pairs. As usual, I have an axial perpendicular to this plane, and that could be a fluorine here and a fluorine here. You see here, if we are going to visualize a square here, there is going to be an axial, there is going to be 1 fluorine above and 1 fluorine below here. And what is the shape here? Now, how do I draw the shape? I have a point here. How does it look like here? It looks like a prism, square prism. Similarly, there is going to be 2 square prisms, one square prism above and another square prism below, fused together, and it has got 8 sides. Such a figure shape is known as octahedral shape. You can draw this octahedral this way. You see here, sulfur here, fluorine, 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 and please remember they are along the plane. This is going to be above the plane, this is going to be below the plane here. And what should be the bond angle? This is perpendicular. Therefore, the bond angle between any fluorine here at the apex and any one of the fluorine at the planar is going to be 90. Similarly, the bond angle between this is going to be 90, the bond angle is going to be 90, and what is going to be another bond angle? 180. This is 180, this is also 180, this is 180. Therefore, there are only two bond angles here, my dear students, here. And that is the shape of SF6 molecule. So, my dear students, you see here, this is going to be PCl5 belongs to AB type here. It has got 5 bond pairs here, and the shape is going to be trigonal bipyramid. And look at this, sulfur hexafluoride again having 6 bond pairs, no lone pair here, will have an octahedral, and octahedral is also can be considered as square bipyramid, square bipyramid, but usually identified as octahedral shape. Students, finally we shall discuss AB7 type. 7 bond pairs and 0 lone pair. Therefore, 7 pairs of an electron. An example could be IF7, iodine heptafluoride, iodine heptafluoride. Now, I shall give you one more information, the electronic configuration of iodine. Should I know the atomic number? No need. Based on the position in the periodic table, I will give you easy way to identify the electronic configuration of any element in the periodic table. I have fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. All of them belong to group 17. The general electronic configuration of group 17 should be NS2, NP5. Please remember, group 13, NS2, NP1. Group 14, NS2, NP2. One more electron, NP2. Group 15, NS2, NP3. Group 16, NS2, NP4, and that is group 17, NS2, NP5. Just the general electron. Now, what is the value of N? Which is this? Which period? Second period, third period, fourth period. So, this is going to be the fifth period. And being a fifth period here, it should have used 5s2 and 5p5. I hope you understand the electronic configuration. The last shell, I have written only the last electronic configuration, last shell. Therefore, if iodine were to use 5s2, look at this, I am giving you additional information besides the geometry. 5f5. Now, the 5s electrons are paired up and 5p electrons, px, py and pz. You make use of the Hund's rule, number 1, second electron, third electron, the fourth electron and the fifth electron gets paired up. And how many unpaired electron? There is one unpaired electron, one unpaired electron, single electron, and this unpaired electron is responsible for the bond formation. Probably this is going to form a bond, share electron with one fluorine atom. But can it accommodate 7 fluorine? No. Therefore, what should be the next structure here? Probably iodine should give you an excited state configuration. Please remember, in the fifth level there is also d orbital, but it has no electron here. Now, what is that I am going to do now? This pair is going to be uncoupled and promoted to the d orbital. So, what should be the structure here? 5s2, one p electron has been excited to sent to d orbital, then it becomes 5p4 and 5d1. 5p4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are going to be 2 unpaired electrons, and therefore on the whole it is going to give you 3 unpaired electrons here, 3 unpaired electrons. And these 3 unpaired electrons should combine with 3 fluorine atoms, probably that should be responsible for the formation of IF3, and this should be responsible for the formation of iodine monofluoride. Now you see here, one more excited state, second excited state. What is the second excited state? One more electron is going to be unpaired and sent to this. Therefore, 5s2, 5p3, 5d2. Remember, one of the electrons sent over here. So, the 3 unpaired electron and 2 unpaired electron. So, how many unpaired electrons here? 5 unpaired electrons. And this 5 unpaired electron should be responsible for the formation of IF5. Now, my dear students, you see here what should be the electronic configuration of iodine to form iodine heptafluoride. So, third excited state. Now, this is a paired. This one of the electron is going to be promoted over here. So, with the result, I end up with 5s1 and 5p3 not to be disturbed. Now, we have got one more electron. Total number of unpaired electron, 1 unpaired electron, 3 unpaired electron plus 3 unpaired electrons here. All of them should give you 7 unpaired electrons here, and probably this must be the electronic configuration of iodine to form iodine pentafluoride. Please note, in the ground state configuration, it has only 1 unpaired electron, IF. In the first excited state configuration, it has 3 unpaired electron giving rise to IF3. The next excited state gives you this, and the third excited state electronic configuration of iodine only can form IF7. Now, having formed IF7 here, how do we distribute the 5 pair 7 electron so that it has got the least repulsion here? My dear student, you look at this. What is that I have drawn now? A pentagon, a planar. Put iodine in the center. Let me put iodine in the center. Iodine in the center. Let me have an axle as usual. This is an axle. This is going to be plane, and I am going to introduce an axle here, and I have one fluorine attached along the axial bond, and these are called equatorial bonds as usual, as I told you in the case of PCl5. So, second fluorine, yet another fluorine, fluorine, fluorine. So, there are 5 fluorine atoms along the plane in the pentagon, and one fluorine down. This is an axial bond. Now, can you visualize the bond angles? That is going to be another important question. The bond angles between any 2 fluorine atoms. Now, what should be the bond angle here? 5 fluorine atoms. What should be the bond angle? 360. Therefore, 360 divided by 5, 360 divided by 5, that should give you 72. So, the least bond angle should be 72. What should be the bond angle between? What should be the bond angle? 272. 72 plus 72 here, and that should give you 144. So, one is going to be 72, the other one is going to be. Now, you should be able to know the angle here. This is perpendicular. Therefore, the third angle is going to be 90. And what should be the fourth angle? The angle between any 2 axial fluorine atom, linear, 180. So, if you are asked to arrange them in the increasing order, therefore, the different bond angles are 72, 90, 90, and this is going to be 142, this is going to be 180. Are you able to identify this bond angle? 72 between any 2 fluorine atoms along the plane, 90 between the axial fluorine and equatorial fluorine, 142 the other adjacent one and the third fluorine atoms, the first and the third fluorine atoms along the plane, and 180 is the bond angle between 2 axial fluorine atoms. Therefore, my dear students here, and this is going to be AB7. So, on the whole, my dear students, we have taken up examples containing the only bond pairs, and that is going to be AB, AB3, AB4, AB2, AB3, AB4, AB5, AB6, AB7. AB2 beryllium chloride, AB3 could be boron trifluoride. AB4, it could be a methane molecule. AB5, phosphorus pentachloride. AB6, sulfur hexafluoride, and finally AB7, iodine heptafluoride. So, based on the number of bond pairs, number of pairs of an electron around an atom, I can visualize the shape of the molecule and the different parameters, like for example the bond angle can also be visualized. Thank you.